What's the most consistent thing you're hearing, not just from our realtors at Keller Williams, but realtors industry-wide as far as like their challenges this year?
I really do, and I agree with them in a lot of things, but this has been the most, I think unique's a good word for it.
Okay.
But it's one of those where from 2020 all the way to 2025, it's been one where all of the weird things in each end of the spectrum, whether it's you have an hour to go see this house,
right,
and then you got to write an offer against 10 others. And we're going to
go. We were used to speed to lead. We weren't used to speed to show.
No. And so you went from that, and then obviously dealing with being an essential employee during COVID, right?
Correct.
All the way to, and navigating those contracts, all the way to learning how to do all of these different strategies to get your offer accepted. And now we're on the other side of it. The market's changed. It's not bad. Obviously, there's never a bad market. But we've went to the other side where now people are panicked because my house is sitting on the market for more than 2 weeks, which is okay. But they're not used to that. So I feel like we've hit both ends of the spectrum.
I think
and it's causing panic both ways, even though all are okay.
Well, you bring up panic, and when I think of real estate agents, I kind of think of them in different segments because you have brand new agents, you have seasoned agents. And so sometimes you think that with experience, okay, I'm going to do great no matter the market. I think we're hearing from experienced agents that even they're a little bit more challenged right now with seller expectations and creeping days on market. And then the flip side, you've got the brand new agents who are like, I just need a lead. I just need a deal.
They don't care how they do it.
Right.
And I've honestly told some newer agents in the last year or two, I'm like, you don't understand the playing field's kind of leveled now because we have moved from speed-based to skill-based, and those skills are always moving. So I think as soon as an agent gets comfortable, that's when they're in trouble.
Yeah, I can see that. What do you think, what are some of the misconceptions that you think agents have about Keller Williams? Because I know what I think. I'm curious what you think.
This will be fun because we see both sides of it. Honestly, I think the biggest misconception is one that I think is less talked about, but I hear a lot is we're number one and the largest at KW, right? Like like we're number one.
Right.
I'll just be a number. I won't get attention.
Okay.
I won't.
I'll
be chasing somebody around. Yes.
Okay.
And it always cracks me up because obviously, we have a team of 10 people.
Not including our broker support.
Not including the broker support, the broker hotline, and the day broker, all of them.
I tallied, side note, their experience between...
Was it like 900 years?
It was creeping up there. So we've got George, and we've got Chris, and we've got Scott, and we've got Diane, and we've got Rhonda. Yeah. And it far surpasses 100 years experience in real estate.
I love that. That's hilarious. We got some dinosaurs on there. No, I'm just kidding.
In a good way.
In great ways. Well, look at you. How long have you been in real estate, Jessica Riddle?
It'll be 15 years
in
February.
And you're 12. How does that happen?
I know.
So no, it's not a matter of you being old.
But I have heard that though. The whole I don't want to be just a number because I've talked with agents before who've come over and are like, I felt like I was loved on to get to the point where I chose that brokerage, and then I joined and it was figure it out.
See, and I hate that.
I don't want that feeling.
Well, especially because I know you and I have sat down to figure this out many times, which I love about us is because we're like, okay, give us the feedback.
What's the problem?
And we'll pivot.
Let's hear it. Let's sort through it.
Yeah, but it's one of those where we have a team of 10. Our only job is to take care of our agents. So it's one of those where if that's a problem, we aren't doing it. And we're going to know who you are.
Yeah.
Our team's entirely too close. Our text group is ridiculous. Let's be honest with the people. But it's one of those where even yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, this person needed this. Oh, Carla's got this and Steve's got that. I'm going to reach out to her. And everybody was on the same page.
That happened to me.
Yes.
I was in an appointment, had a missed call from one of our realtors, called her back within 10 minutes, and she had already gotten her answer by another member of our team. And I'm like, great.
I love that. And I've freaked people out before. They were like, Steve called me to give me this information. How did he know? And I was like, I told you.
It's our job to know who we're in
That's
business
what we do.
with.
That's what I always tell people. We cannot compete with a flat fee, no service company. We can't help ourselves because we have a team of 10 where this is our primary job.
Yeah.
We are not, this is our primary income.
Right.
It is not, we're selling houses also.
Yeah.
We might sell here and there for like
Sure.
siblings or whatever, which
even
I think when we
that's
do that, we're
challenging.
like, no, thank you. We'll refer it to an
Family can be
agent.
hard.
But it's one of those where this is what we do.
Yeah.
So just like you're taking care, like they're taking care of clients or whatever, that's our job.
Yeah. So it's interesting you brought that up because I actually had a different answer. On the
We can keep going.
we
on it.
can,
Which
we can get a
we
list.
just hit a couple.
So one of the biggest misconceptions that I hear from outside agents, which is always interesting when they've never experienced it yet. There's this very big opinion. It's a lot of hidden fees.
That's probably the biggest one because sometimes when you're number one, no, I'm just kidding. Like we're not in competition with each other. I feel like every broker just has their own special features.
Sure.
That is great for that agent.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to all of them.
And I see them all because I've obviously worked with a lot of agents at other brokerages. But for us, like we have a lot of people saying, oh, they have hidden fees.
Right.
And I always joke when I get that, I'm like, listen, again, the team of 10. We have one person that processes the invoices. Her name is Jessica Rapp.
Local,
She's
right here
across
in
the hall,
Greenwood.
and I can assure you that she does not have the capacity to hide any fees.
Right.
And it's one of those where we have everything out in black and white.
Well, we're an open book company.
I was saying,
If anyone walks into our office and says, Jess, I
yeah.
want to see your P&L. Jess, why were the expenses this amount? Why is my profit share this and instead of higher?
Yes. Oh,
We
I
have a
have
conversation.
like down the hall when it like the profit month or their profit share, whatever. We better be having a good profit this year or this month. I'm like,
Yeah.
people watch that because that is a benefit of being with Keller Williams and growing a profit share.
Well, because we see our agents as partners, right?
Well, and I think that's what we do differently than a lot of brokerages, and especially our group, is that we live on feedback.
Right.
If we get bad feedback, it comes to the team, we chew that up and figure out how we can fix it. So we're always evolving and being flexible. So if we don't, then no, everything's swept under the rug. They call us to the mat if we need to be called to the mat, and we thank them for it because we're crazy.
I think it can be a detriment sometimes. And I'm not just sitting here trying to say, oh my gosh, we have anything and everything, because again, to your point,
we sound like talking heads.
Well, there's pros and cons to every brokerage. There are
Yes.
reasons when a small firm makes more sense, and I'll tell you what makes more sense for you.
I've done
There's
that,
times
yeah.
where yes, you're best suited for a bigger brand name company who has the leverage and the scalability of more resources.
Absolutely.
But I think sometimes when you do offer so many different things, for instance, if I send a potential agent a list of all of our models, because we are a multi-model company, suddenly it's, oh my gosh, there's so many fees,
Yes.
because you've shown them everything, rather than sitting down and honing in on what this model is, why it makes more
Yes.
sense, what this one is. So I think sometimes when you offer all these things, it can backfire and feel like, oh my gosh, there's so many different
100%.
fees when that's not the case.
That's so true, because someone's like, will you just send me the models? And I'm like, yes, and like, I'm not going to send those to you and you just sit with them, because that will, I don't want you to shut down.
Yeah.
Because let me explain why and how this works. Because what I do love is that we have so many things where every agent can cater how they run their business exactly how they want to. For example, like the brand new agent, we have a highly supported model, and it's this way. Someone who, people who are independent brokerages, finding that, oh, Keller Williams let me brand myself, but I can get cheaper resources, tools, and technology.
Yeah.
Canva Pro, Social Bay, all the things that we offer, they have to pay out of their pocket for. So if they can keep their brand and just use pure economies of scale to get better deals on their tools, run your business however you see fit.
Right.
We have a model for that. All of them are different and all of them are very fluid, because as we know, your business is going to evolve or sunset, whatever that is, and it's all the things in between. So then that way, there's a model for that. And it's never, it is black and white. We have everything printed and out there, right? But there's so much gray area, because that's what our team does. We're not just admin staff. I hate like calling our team staff. When I always hear that, I'm like, no, we're not. Because we're all consultants in whatever way that is. Chad can consult on, if you do this in this way, then you, this model's better.
Expenses, profit and loss,
And
like truly
it's-
setting it up like a business.
100%.
Yeah.
We are all business consultants. So
You brought up some of the resources, Social Bay, Canva integrations. What have you seen shift as far as the tools that realtors are asking for now compared to 10 years ago?
That is, that has changed, I think, even in the last year. Because even when we went to Texas for Mega Camp, they said that they had written one thing, because they prepare this like years in advance, and they scrapped it all and went to AI and the technology and stuff, because I always say this wrong, but it's going to make sense in my head, is, what is it? AI will not replace a real estate agent, but a real estate agent utilizing AI will replace the rest.
Correct. Yeah.
I did it. So, but it's one of those where realtors are fantastic, even on social media, some of them with their personalities. When you're doing the business, you don't have time for a lot of these things. So there are different tools and systems that you can utilize to do that. And a lot of agents pay for them themselves to make it work for them. So what Keller Williams, I think, does is identify what those are and can partner, like Canva. Now our agents have access to Canva Pro, but it also integrates with the MLS system and all of these things where it can kind of rip off and duplicate a little bit, where they create things for you, and it's amazing. And it's no additional fee, no hidden fee. But then beyond that, our office recognized that agents' consistency is key. You can always do like one cool video. We went viral on one of our TikToks, right, Jess?
Do we have to talk about that?
Jess went viral specifically. But it's one of those where like that was a flash in the pan. But if we don't keep doing it, we just will fall off, just like an agent, right? So the consistency, and that's one of the biggest things for real estate agents. And that's why AI is important, to leapfrog over manually doing everything, or also being able to create that consistency without doing it manually every day. So I think all the tools allow agents to work smarter, and it's important to move with the times, because those brokerages that this is what we have, this is what we do, and that's it, they're going to be gone. They're going to be in the dust, because there's something new all the time, and it's important to evolve.
You have to adjust. That's true.
How many times have I said evolved in this so far?
Twice. This is all I counted.
My head's going a mile a minute probably with it.
Do you want to know what I'm intrigued by?
Please.
Why you have two different nail colors?
That's not funny, because I looked at my nails like I messed up.
Why is the top different from the bottom?
Are we ready?
It's totally off topic, but it caught my attention.
Okay, so I didn't know it was like this. And I did a video yesterday, and I was
because you do your nails.
I do my own
forgot
nails.
about that.
Yeah. Red Aspen. Plug. But no, I did it, and then I was like, oh, I didn't think it was going to be noticeable, and I was sitting there, and I go, and it was
intriguing. Okay, sorry. So off topic, but it was very intriguing. Oh man. Okay, what else you want to talk about?
What else? Let's talk about, I don't know, I always hear a big thing too at brokerages, or things that are important to agents, is the culture. And especially, again, with us being large, it's one where, you know, we have so many people. We have a bunch of offices too. But then it's also one where, since COVID and things, I feel like people can work from home. They want to do virtual. So like, I think what a big portion is that culture, support, community. So let's talk about that.
What I find intriguing most, and I think this can be said about a lot of different things, I think words get recycled very quickly by people, and they don't all mean them the same way.
So true.
What do you mean when you say culture?
Okay, that's a great point. You make an excellent one, because those are all very different things. And in my head, I'm like, well, this is that. And you might like that, but you don't want that. You might not want to go do a happy hour with a bunch of real estate agents, but you want to be in a mastermind so that you can pick their brains on topics.
Yeah.
So those are different things. But I think a matter of, let's break down support. That's the easy one.
Okay.
What kind of support? And we talked about that a little bit, where you can have like that emergency call, or somebody there for you at all times. I know I've talked to one agent recently that had been an independent for 10 years. And he was like, the broker hotline is the coolest thing you guys do, because it is so nice to have someone that I can call
That
and
you
work
can
this
get
out
an
with.
answer
And I was like,
from.
oh,
Yes.
I love to hear that. But when it comes to the culture and the support, I think, in my opinion, this is me, and I want you to hit me back, the difference between culture and community, and I think those get moved around a lot. Culture, I think, is the more of the, I want to say vibe without sounding like a hipster, but it's the vibe and the like I always say that we have a productive culture. Like it's a focus on productivity, because yes, we love each other and we're going to have a good time. And I think that's where the community part comes to, where we can get together. But the culture of our office is we work hard, we play hard, you know what I mean? And we love each other. And then the community part. So that's, I think they do get interchanged a lot, and I even do it a lot.
I see culture, I think we're kind of on the same level, but I describe it as a feeling.
A vibe.
When you walk into the office, what's the feeling? Is it, well, let's just say, is it supportive? I mean, because I think what's interesting, and this might sound harsh, I thought this would change. Like I said, almost 15 years in the business. I thought that over time, agents would become more collaborative. Our culture has been, if I'm doing something well, I want to tell you about it. I'll share it. You want to know what my buyer consult sounds like? You want to know how I convert this lead in 3 months versus 6? Like there's a willingness to be able to help my fellow agents out. And that wasn't the case in the 2011 when I got started, as I was told from agents who had left certain brokerages. I thought that would change
amongst all
brokerages. And look, the reality is there are brokerages who are super collaborative. It's not just Keller Williams. Of course, I don't think that. But there are still some where they view each other as competition. The agents within the firm view each other as competition. And it's astounding to me, because we live in a world where you are constantly taking in information and learning from other people. I hate to say it, but very few people are actually idea creators. More often than not, you are influenced by someone else's idea.
Yes.
So to have that, I don't want to share what I'm doing, is baffling, because more than likely you got that idea from someone else to begin with.
And I will say, like, even the people that would be put on pedestals, like when you're a new agent, you come in and you're like, oh my gosh, they've got it all figured out and they're the best. No, they don't.
No.
And what I like is that even if you hit the top, there's somebody in this country, in our region, not in your backyard, that is doing it better or different that you can learn from. Because I have yet to meet an agent that would say that they were hitting it all
cylinders.
Yep. And they've not had to. Even
I don't know if you
ones,
can.
If you do, it will change.
Just as you can't, when goal setting, for instance, like research shows that you really can only achieve one big goal at a time. If you're too spread out between multiple goals, it could take longer. It just may not happen that you achieve that goal. And so I think when it comes to firing on all cylinders, can you fire on all cylinders, or are you really strong at one thing and a couple things?
Which is great, because they say, like, yes, being diverse is great, but really nailing a couple things really well is a strategy too. But I think as soon as you do get comfortable, that's when your strategies need to change.
Yeah.
Because somebody back in the day, not saying this still doesn't work, because snail mail does work in the old school ways as a part of a bigger picture. But if one person's like, nope, I send a mailer out and that's what they get, and that's it, you need to evolve. Or, I only do social media. You need to evolve. Every part of it is important. So as soon as you get stuck on your heels, that's when you're going to get in trouble, in my opinion. Yeah. So, what was the other one? But I agree. It's a vibe, because I'm going to be honest, I apologized for ours the other day. And the person was like, it's totally fine. For our culture.
Oh, okay. Don't say that. What'd you do?
Well, I love it. So when somebody came in and had never been there before, it was a newer person, and came in, and we were being our usual selves. Like somebody was like, hey, and just yelling down the hall, or there was a joke happening, or somebody jumped out and scared somebody, like that kind of stuff. Or when our operating principal put a cutout of Rip from Yellowstone in the bathroom.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was a pee your pants moment
It's
for
just
me.
one of those where like, I
Didn't see
said,
that
I'm
coming.
so sorry. We're a little crazy. And she was like, oh, I love it. And I was like, oh, good. Because it's not for everybody.
No, and that's okay.
And you can have it whichever way. We have a corner where we stay a little quieter. But it's one of those where if you want to come out from your productivity and just whatever, I guarantee you say something and there's 10 people that'll just pop out and be like, whoa, and have a good time. So I love that. And it's one where I had someone the other day, not that I don't know everything. I don't know everything. I'm great. I'm very resourceful. That's the key about me. So an agent came and had something and I was just like, oh, we're above my pay grade. And so I just started walking the hall. I was like, we're going to find somebody. And it was great because they're like, oh yeah, hang on. That person is really good at that. And I went and found them. So it was really nice. I love that kind of a vibe. Is it fun? Is sometimes they're just a roll of toilet paper rolling down the hallway from one office to another. It's happened.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a couple of crazy boys back in the back. Are there cartwheels with my children happening in the corner with an agent? There was.
I think I was there that day. I think I had my door shut though.
Probably because my kids were being so quiet, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Where'd they go?"
They disappeared.
And it was Teddy.
Quiet
Khan.
children
I'm
are
saying
scary
his name,
children.
too. Yeah, I was like, "Where'd he go?" And he's doing cartwheels with my children.
Would you slide me my H2O?
With a lemon.
Half a lemon.
Wait, mine's on that
No less.
side. Is it? Yeah. Drink break. This is fun though.
Imagine if it were wine.
Next one we do.
Oh my God, Wine Wednesdays. Okay, there was something else I wanted to get your opinion on.
Yeah.
Please hold. Oh, I know it's a hot topic.
Yes.
So, kind of leaning into, let's first start with the newer agents who are getting started in real estate and what they're looking for from a brokerage. I often hear training, obviously super important, but coaching, mentorship. Where do you land on that conversation as far as getting that, we'll just say, hands-on help?
Okay. So everybody at brokerage, and I always tell people that when they talk to me about Keller Williams options, is there's a talking head like me at every company. Every company has training. Every company will have this, if that, whatever, and whatever mix of that is. What I like is that with Keller Williams, we've recognized that it cannot be just one, and for all the agents. So we have the training, but beyond that, if you have the training and you go to a class, you learn how to do this, but who's walking alongside you when it's a little weirder, or who's holding you accountable to what you said you want to do? Because even though accountability is a scary word for people, and you don't want to be held accountable and let anybody down, you're being held accountable to yourself. There are no punishments.
Yeah,
but it's one of those where you have the training classes, but then you have the coaching. And then the coach can even connect you to mentors. Yeah. And having someone to
because
go shadow.
they're very different. A coach is not the same thing as a mentor.
Or a trainer.
Yes.
Yes. All of those are very, very different things. And again, just like when we say culture and it's all encompassing, they say, oh, a coach. Well, a coach is not there to train you on how to do it. Yeah. A coach is not there to mentor you or walk with you in shadow. Yeah. That is not it. It is a coach coaches you to your business plan and your goals. Right. The training trains you how to do it, and then a mentor is there to kind of guide you through it. Or a day broker in our situation too.
I love my sports analogies.
I do too.
Obviously, a coach is easy to define.
Yes.
Any sports team has a coach. Their goal is to get to the end of the season with a championship. With we know that's the goal, and that coach is going to be helping them along the way, holding them accountable to their training schedule, to their exercise regimen. All of that is done by the coach. However, if I'm a player on that team, I might have a mentor that's already done all of that. The mentor has been through what I'm still going through. The mentor has achieved championship level. That's kind of the difference I look at it.
That's a beautiful way to
You're welcome.
Gosh, you're just full of so much knowledge and wisdom. Such a goober. We are crazy.
What else is on our list?
Let's see. My phone case, my puppy chewed on. Oh. Smart. Okay, we had, what else? Oh, here we go.
Okay.
I'll write this one down right here. Let's talk about growth opportunities. Because here's why I asked this is I was in a group the other day and someone said, well, what's next? And I've had other agents, because I've been in for almost 10 years, just like you. And so you've seen the agents that were hitting it hard and wanting to do more and more and more and more are now at a different place in their business and their lives where they're ready to, they've either shifted where they've diversified their income and have multiple streams, so they're able to pull back a little bit on the homes and refer more or give to their team, whatever. That it's one of those where, what are the opportunities? Is it the last house you sell in real estate is the last check you're going to cash? That's always a big one for me, because I don't think many people talk about it until they're in that position.
And then it's too late.
Exactly. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, opportunities is big for me. Just because I myself have experienced what it looks like to grow through the industry.
You're a great example.
Yeah. And I think like most people, not most people, I won't say agents, but I looked at my first entry into real estate as a job. I knew when to show up each day. I knew what activities I had to do. I knew when I could take a lunch and I'd clock out. I looked at it as a job because I wasn't a real estate agent.
Yes.
I had a boss. I was also in school. I was a full-time college student and intended to leave that job because I needed to go work outside of real estate, because real estate's not a career. I don't want to be a receptionist forever. Nothing against people who do, but that wasn't, I was looking for something greater.
Yeah.
And then what I think is interesting is I was not looking for a new opportunity in real estate. I was looking for an opportunity in healthcare management, criminal justice.
Right.
And it just so happened that one of the teams within the Keller Williams ecosystem had an opportunity. Took that position, did that for a number of years. Now, in this case, I was looking for a different opportunity. I was looking for more growth, which led to another a market center administrator role. So I think there can be times where, yes, you're ready for something else. And it's nice, at least in the Keller Williams ecosystem, that you have your team leaders you can go to, your operating principal, your brokers, and ask them, okay, here's where I'm thinking, what's out there available for me. But then other times we're watching our agents and seeing what they're doing, and wow, this person has some incredible leadership skills, or maybe there's an opportunity for them to shift from being just real estate sales to coach. I mean, you've got a lot of options. My advice to anyone is just kind of do the work, and the opportunities will come if you are looking for more.
That's the key right there, because we do notice, and we do talk to our agents so that we can find out what their end goals are, because they might not have ever had those conversations with people before or have been asked those questions.
Right.
I know I wasn't. And so I had no idea that I was going to be doing this. I wanted to go sell houses and make money, and that was key. Cool. I had no idea that, just doing the things, being on the ALC, our Agent Leadership Council, so that I could have a voice in how the market centers ran, would lead to me. Honestly, I didn't apply for this role. It applied to me. It was one where we do a Keller personality assessment, which is super cool. That, there are people that use it for people they're dating. Yeah, you've never done that. Have you done it to your husband?
Yes. Yeah. I did not validate his KPA.
I'm going to add that to my dating, whatever I call it.
To-do list?
Yes.
Okay. Tough word.
The requirement section of the application.
I'm with you.
But anyways, so it's one of those where they had recognized that I was a really high fit for these different roles.
Gotcha. You were showing up in a way that...
And so then me just showing up and actually them all melding together, they already had their eye when the opportunity arose. So I remember being in a car and being like, wait, am I a candidate for this position? Literally. And she's like, you want to be? And I was like, of course, that's what Rhonda says, right? But it's one of those, you were the same way. Saw it in you. You're just head down doing the work, and these opportunities came to you. So it's one of those where...
Because I don't think you can chase the title.
You can't. And if you do, I will tell you that it probably, not always, but it might not be a good fit. Because the title of what like we do is not why we do it.
Right.
It's servant leadership.
Absolutely.
It's standing behind the curtains. You know what I mean? So, but chasing the title makes it think all the glory. It's not. We just make it look good. No, I'm just kidding. But the other part is that I've had people who are like, with you, not just you, but you kind of came through a different way than just you got into sales.
Correct.
You started like doing that part, and then you did transaction coordination. You did all of the different pieces of real estate. And it's one where I've had someone jump in, do sales, and she was like, I like the paperwork part. I like pin to close. I like that part. And me, I hate that part.
Yeah.
Like, give me a transaction coordinator on every deal and I'll pay you all my money. Always. But it's one of those where when I talked to her about that, and she was like, it was after her first year, and she did fine. She sold houses, you know? She just didn't care for that part.
Right.
So then it became one I was like, hang on. And then we were able to help her figure out what that looked like. And now then she became a coordinator for one of the top teams and then started her own coordination business. So it's one of those where the opportunities may not be anything you know of right now or while you're selling. But there are plenty of things where people, and again, the collaboration and the community part of all of this is that people talk to each other.
Yeah.
Opportunities arise. We are matchmakers in a lot of things. So the opportunities are really endless. And that's what I like about it. We have agents in other states.
We do.
That are top
They are
producers.
now expanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Florida, Minnesota.
So, anything's possible. And if there's a will, there's a way. And if there is a need, there's someone that will fill that need. Because we're all entrepreneurs. So that's what I like.
Yeah.
What else?
What else you got?
That was a good one. Good job.
It was your idea.
I know. Okay. This goes with the misconceptions.
Okay.
I'm taking it back. So the other thing I get a lot is, and that's probably one of my soapboxes. I have a few soapboxes, but one of my soapboxes is, well, you know, I wanted to be with a recognizable brand. The brand reputation is what
heard that
really
once.
matters. You know,
I mean, I'm
like,
sure I've heard it
nobody
more than
knows,
once.
blah, blah, blah.
But I have
I'm
a
like,
distinct memory of a gentleman who joined, and he's like, you know, I'm happy to be here, but I do find it a little interesting. I don't see any Keller Williams signs.
my mother said that to me when I joined Keller Williams in
Keller who?
2016. Libby, are we sure? I don't see a lot of Keller Williams signs. So I dug into that, and now knowing that we held the most market share there, I was like, oh, it's because you can have hot pink and leopard signs if you want them.
You brand yourself.
Which one day I will.
Oh.
Just for fun.
I mean, you could. Yeah, that's
Probably
fine.
just put it in my front yard. See what happens.
Okay. How about it?
Anyways, so that's a big misconception. So talk about what you've heard.
Yeah, no, that exact thing, that I don't see a lot of Keller Williams signs. But the reality is, and nothing against brokerages who operate this way, but we don't have a stock sign that all the agents use.
No.
They brand themselves. It very much that
Yes.
partnership. The reality is consumers do not find their realtor based on the brokerage. More often than not, they already knew their realtor or it was referred to them. So the brokerage doesn't typically play a role.
Right.
So the signage is one of the best ways for our agents to really start to brand themselves, have their own autonomy. I mean, it's even changed as far as how big the Keller Williams or brand or brokerage logo has to be. And I always find it funny when we get asked, well, does it have to be red and black? No, friend, it doesn't.
Happens. A lot of people do that. Yeah.
We have yellow, we have white, we have teal.
Yes,
It is your business. You are powered by Keller Williams. You get that brand recognition if it does come up. But no, this is an agent's business to run. We're just here to elevate.
And that's one of the things too, because you see the signs, like there's a billboard, it's like #1 trusted brand in real estate, or #1.
Does it say according to my mom after? Just kidding.
No, but I want to make that best realtor according to my mom. Wouldn't say that though. She'd say your cousin. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
My mom's gonna kill me. It's not the first time I've done a video where she's wanted to kill me afterwards. But no, but it's one of those where there's stats that I'm not confident to say off the top of my head, but it's like at closing, and the client says, oh my gosh.
I know the stats.
You do?
Yes.
This is why we're the best duo.
So it's called the 2024, in this case, NAR Home Buyer and Seller Profile. And it's where they get really detailed on what's important to buyers, sellers, where they moved to, why they moved to, how they chose their agent. So the percentage is a little bit different when you look at buyer and seller responses, but typically for both, it's an average of 80% of buyers and sellers post-closing say that they will use the same agent. Less than 20% do.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I remember when they updated that, I think it was at family reunion maybe, but I was like, that has increased.
It has increased.
It
correct.
has crazy
Yeah.
increased. Because back in the day, I would say like 72% or whatever it was, and it had increased because there's more noise. We have access to more information, right? It used to be like, oh, well, they were on the sign or whatever is how it happened. And now it's, oh no, people are reaching out or they're whatever. And so it's one of those where, 80% said, oh my gosh, I love them. Like, I'm going to use them again. And then what happens is when it comes that time, they use somebody else, whoever was first in line, which is our job to fix, obviously.
I literally had this conversation last night on our licensing info session. So I had about 6 to 8 individuals who are looking at getting started as realtors, looking at getting licensed. And we had the conversation around what are the jobs of a real estate agent? Conversation and dialogue practice, lead generation, lead follow-up, appointments, negotiations. Well, for most agents, lead generation is a very deeper conversation as far as what is lead generation. The average agent doesn't have a problem making the first connection. The average agent has a terrible problem with staying in touch because it's boring to do because you can't force somebody to be ready to buy or sell. But what I do know is that we don't choose when life shows up. You don't know. Even if somebody tells you, hey, we're not looking to move until my kids grow up from high school or graduate high school. Unfortunately, there are some very awful life circumstances that can happen. There's divorces, there's deaths, there's some other ones that aren't as tragic, but there could be new babies, there could be job relocations. And I always reference this because I had an individual, this is when I was an ops manager for, the number one team at the time in our office. And one of my agents closed a buyer in downtown Indianapolis who had the full intent of staying in that home for a long period of time. However, within 3 months, he got relocated and had to sell the home again. A lot of realtors close on that transaction, and then they just think, well, average buyer or average homeowner doesn't move until every 5 to 7 years. I'll touch base then. No, this is a relationship business. You stay engaged. They may not have any intent to buy or sell, but we don't choose when life shows up. And they might know somebody who wants to buy or sell.
They're good for one referral.
Absolutely.
I talked to an agent yesterday who's been doing this for 20 years. And we were talking about how funny it is because if you ask her to tell a brand new agent, like, oh, it just comes to me. And I was like, stop it. Because I can name 3 things that I know you do that are a part of the 36 plus touch program.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like in the whole part of a system, you just, it's ingrained.
The system's running, so you're not remembering.
And I said, also, they didn't see you 20 years ago when you were hustling and out talking and doing the open houses and doing all the things.
It takes time.
And I said, what the key is that you just cast this net and you have to be like, name a brand of tissues.
Great Value.
I knew you were going to do that. Nobody does that, Jessica. Pretend you're normal.
Sorry, Kleenex.
Thank you. I get Great Value too. But no, so you have to be Kleenex in every person's mind that you know in your sphere.
I feel like my pipeline would be Great Value. Just kidding.
Oh my God, mine would be Sam's Club because we buy them by the pound.
Are you a Coke or Pepsi?
Oh. I'd probably say Coke.
You want to hear something
I'm not
so
either.
ridiculous?
What?
I put personalities to inanimate objects. I like the flavor of Coke, but I like Pepsi, the individual, better.
I completely
Which is
get that. No, I completely. Pepsi's sexier.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that.
something-
I was just going to say they're more friendly, but whatever. Who's single?
I think that people just saw that I don't have shoes on.
I'm surprised I still do.
I am too. That's between the two of us. I don't have shoes on.
The water.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
sorry.
Anywho, what were we saying? But now I'm gonna
Brand,
look at Pepsi
sorry,
again and
sorry.
see if I feel that they're as friendly. I feel like they're cool.
Yeah. Okay. I do too.
Anyways.
Okay, Kleenex. I'm sorry.
No, but that just really showed our
resonates.
personalities well. So, like, you have to be the first person because you're going to
You got to be
somebody
top of mind. Yes, I'm with you.
at dinner or whatever, be like, oh, I'm thinking about selling my house. You have got to call my girl Riddle.
Yeah.
Okay? That's how that happens. So they're good for a referral.
You're just building mind share.
And like you said, they could, I'm not buying till this, and then the perfect house pops on the market and they're buying.
Doesn't matter if they're not wanting to buy or sell soon. It doesn't mean you can't check in on their kids and their
you can
family,
love
how
on
their
them.
job is doing. This is a relationship business. Now, if you want to be transaction based and be very just turn and burn,
yeah.
fine. That is your prerogative. That's
You have
not
to
the
work
way
harder,
that's
in
not
my
the way that we
opinion.
train.
But
It
it's
is-
one
it
of
is
those
harder.
where there's a way to do it. We also teach you how to convert leads. So if you want to be that agent, there are options.
Let's talk leads, which kind of
There's
ties into
another
what
one.
we were already saying. I have very
It
strong
does.
opinions
It does,
on this.
because I don't think that there is a bad way to get business.
No.
Some people turn their nose up and they're like, I've never bought leads.
Right.
Well, good for you.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Until you are at a place, and that's another pet peeve of mine, is comparing their outsides to this person's insides and looking at them after 20 years in the business versus when they first started. Back then, they would take leads.
Yeah.
Now they don't need them because they've built this through systems and tools and resources and have nurtured it, that now it just runs itself. So there isn't a bad way to get a lead.
Yeah, I think the challenge I have sometimes in someone saying, well, I want to be with a firm who offers leads, or I can get you a contact.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of brokerages who offer leads. A lead is different than an appointment.
Agree. There it
A
is.
lead takes nurturing and conversion. And look, there's statistics around the length of time you have to nurture a paid lead versus somebody who's in your sphere of influence. If we're talking to work smarter, not harder, I'm probably going to go with my sphere of influence. Those are easier to turn. They're usually
much
better
so.
transactions, but there's value in buying leads too. But you have to be very mindful that just because you get that name, just because somebody submits that inquiry, you do not know that whether or not yet that they are pre-approved, that they don't have things to work on with their credit, that maybe they're not ready to sell. They were just kind of seeing what prices are. So a lead is good, but just know what you're getting into, and you have to have that follow-up system in place for months and months at a time before you can realistically expect it to turn into business.
I had this conversation when I was walking to my kid's bus stop yesterday with an agent on the phone.
Do they buy leads?
It was one where
I
and
meant
I'm
your
sure,
kids.
Oh, they better start
Just
earning
kidding.
something. I'll tell you that. Put t-shirts on with my phone number. No, that sounds bad too. But it's one where they were like, oh, they're all bad leads. And I'm like, whoa, come on.
No.
Because I don't believe that any lead is
think there's
bad.
bad leads.
Any person, because let's be honest, we're dealing in people here, okay? So even if they never buy a house ever again, their relationship will get you business. If they, because every person needs somewhere to live, right? Like every person is going to have some need for a place to live and know someone that's going to need somewhere to live.
Yeah.
My biggest deal, like my biggest transaction, highest volume, when I was selling was from an open house, and it came months later after that open house. So to other people, they were like, well, that was a worthless open house. No one bought the house. That's not why I did it. I did it so I could meet people.
Growing your database.
And Gary Keller says, put yourself, 50% of your time, you should be having conversations. Put yourself in the path of people. That is the best use of your time.
Yeah,
So you
agree.
collect them, and it was a young person thinking about real estate that I was talking to the other day, and I said, it's like Pokemon. You got to collect them all. So you collect people. You're in the business of people, and then now they're yours to take care of.
Okay.
You nurture them, and then whenever they need anything, you're the first person they call, and you service them.
And it's tough. Look, we're all instant gratification people. We want that immediate result. I mean, if we want to buy something, it's on our doorstep in 2 days. So you have to just accept the fact that there is that long-term nurture that is more than likely going to have to take place. The benefits can come, but it's going to come through consistent checking in and follow-up systems that you have to have in place if you want to have a steady stream of
agree.
business.
Well, and think about the referral games through that and how big that can grow by just helping one person, taking great care of them and caring about them and checking in on them. You're gonna do that for their sister. You check on them. Oh my gosh, they help our family. Now it's a family thing, and they've got 10 cousins. You know what I mean? So it's gonna grow much more than you, and then those 10 people know 10 people.
Right.
So it's a matter of, and it's not just staying in touch to stay in touch. It is being a value and a resource to them. No matter, I've had someone that I sold a house to 7 years ago was like, hey, we need a plumber, the pipe busted, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I sent him a plumber. I was like, whoa, okay. Glad you called me.
You should be who someone thinks of when there's a home need, whether it's a repair, a refi, a move. You should be the person they think of.
Exactly. Yep.